Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please tell everyone in the group that we're live. Let us begin. We are live. Hello, good evening. How you all doing? How was your day? Please, while we're waiting for others to join, can you kindly introduce yourself and your location? What's your name? Where are you watching us from? Hi, good evening, Doris. I hope you all can hear me. If at any point you cannot hear me, please don't fail to write it in the group. Okay. Oh, my Bielsa sister. Nice to have you here, Doris. Okay, you are Florence from Edo State. Okay, how would you precisely? You are welcome. Okay, that's good. If at any point you're not hearing me, please you write it either on the comment section here or you go to the WhatsApp group and indicate so that I will know and rectify it immediately. This is 6:36 already, so we'll begin by 6:40. Let's just give others 2 minutes to join us. Good evening. You are Kadijat from Osun State. Okay, Kadijat, nice to meet you. Nice to have you here. So lovely to meet you all here. Okay, Peter from PH, you're welcome. We have just about 3 minutes to begin. We begin by 6:40. This is just to give others ample time to join us. No, you're not typing in the group. Please go to the YouTube and type it. Some people are typing in the group. Maybe I should lock the group. We're not typing here, please. Go to the YouTube channel and type. Ben from Oshun, you're welcome. Elizabeth from Lagos, nice to have you here. Chinedu from Owerri, nice to have you here. I was in Owerri yesterday. Okay, no, day before yesterday. Peter Kalu, good evening. You're welcome. You're from Umuaya. Welcome. Saliu from Lokoja, you're welcome. We just have 1 more minute and we begin, okay? Today is going to be a lovely day. Can't wait for us to start. We are over 500 persons in that group. Where is everybody? Chitu from Ijebu, you're welcome. Andrew Olusegun from Osun State, you are welcome. Okay, okay, here we go. One, two, ready, go. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Bankole from Lagos, you're welcome. Goodness from Benin City, you are welcome. Please, okay, don't worry, others will join us. Others will join. If you have anybody in your circle of friends or family that is interested in a training like this, don't hesitate to let them know that we're live so that they can join and get all of this goodness. Okay, someone is hailing all those from Anambra State. I hail you all too. Okay, so let's begin. Now, today we're going to be talking about snail farming, right? Especially for beginners, or maybe you're already into snail farming. There are a lot of things you might not have heard or known about that we'll be talking about today. So, I need you all to pay attention. I need you all to um, be present here. Okay, follow me as we go along on this journey. If at any point in time you have any question, you can ask, but I would advise that we wait till the end of the session for us to ask our questions. All right, so that I don't get distracted, so I can pay full attention to your questions as well. Okay, so without wasting much time, let us get right into it. I'm going to share my screen so that you see what we are doing. Okay. Hope you can see my screen. Okay, so we're live. Now, how can you start snail farming business and start raking in these six figures that everyone has been talking about? Everybody has been clamoring about snail farming making people millionaires. Yes, I'm not here to dispute that fact because it's in fact true. Very true. But like every other business, there are ropes. There are things you need to know. There are things you need to do for you to start making the profit that is embedded inside that business, which is what we're here to learn today. So we're going to be talking about three different steps, right? Number one is how you can learn. How can you learn how to start this business? Number two, how you can build this business, right? When you learn it, you now build the necessary things required for you to start before you rear your snails and then earn. Okay, learn before you earn, so they say, and which is very true. So for you to learn how to start snail farming, it has to be from the right source. Okay, get the right training from the right source, which is a trusted person who has been into the business for years. All right, and let it be from one source so that you don't get confused, because going to different places, different people to learn from can end up confusing you rather than giving you clarity on what you want to learn. Okay, e.g., YouTube. Those who come on YouTube to watch random videos never end well. Trust me, because you end up learning from several people, and the result of that is confusion most of the times. Okay, so after learning, the next thing is for you to build your snail houses. Now you see, snail houses are called pens. Okay, it's still the same spelling with the pen we write with, right? But there are two different meanings entirely. Okay, so you build their pen depending on the space you have available before you now go to buying of snails. Okay, which we call the point of lay. The one we start our farming with are called point of lays. Okay, so before you buy your point of lays and then you start your farming before you can even start earning. Now, before you earn, you sell your snails for you to earn. Okay, these are basically what it entails. Definitely, there are details to all of this. So, basically, these are the three different steps that are required for you to make money in snail farming business. By the end of this training, these are the things that you're how to go about them. We're going to talk about them step by step, how you can go about these three different steps that we have here. Now, this training is not supposed to go more than 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to do it for 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes is like a symbol for me, because 30 minutes is all that is required for you to run your farm per day, at most 1 hour. Okay, now in just 30 minutes of the day, you're able to attend to your farm, which are your snails, right? You attend to them, take care of them, feed them if you must, and that is all. That's all. Majority of Nigerians have underestimated this livestock farming in the past, but I am very happy and I'm very glad that a lot of persons are getting revealed to this thing. Their eyes are getting open to this thing, and a lot are keen into it and making the best out of it. And most persons just keep scrolling along, which is normal. But thank God you're here today. For you to be here means you've made up your mind to learn about this thing, and this is one of the best decisions you've made this year. Trust me. Now you can sell your snails ranging from 2,800 down to 4,500. Now I'm talking about one single snail. Okay, if you look at the snails I have up here, that's like a bag of snail, although I just took a sample picture of the top, right? It's in a bag. Okay, these snails, one of them go for around 1,500 to 1,800 for one. And these are like the first size of jumbo. We have jumbo 1, jumbo 2, jumbo 3. All right, so this is like the jumbo 1. Jumbo 3 go for as much as 4,500 naira. So imagine having snails that will lay between 40 to 80 eggs for you. One of these snails can give you between 40 to 80 eggs. Now, this is just for Achatina marginata. Okay, we're going to talk about the different species of snails we have in Africa, right? Now, there is a species of snail we have in Africa that one snail can give you up to 1,200 eggs. One snail, one single snail can give you 1,200 eggs, a minimum of 800 eggs. Okay, so imagine you're starting your farm with 200 or 500 of such snails. You know the thousands that we're talking about already. Okay, and like I said, you need about 30 minutes for the day to take care of your snails. And I have trained well over 3,000 persons to do this business, and I know you are next. For you to be here means you are next. Now I want to take a wild guess. For those of you that are here, I want to take a wild guess as to why you are here, or what is the likelihood of the reason why you are here. Maybe you're searching for a side also, right? Excuse me. You're searching for a side business that can be giving you money, that you don't really necessarily have to start with millions of naira, right? Now, let's be frank. To start a business in Nigeria today, you will need millions of naira to start a sustainable business that can fetch you millions, right? You need millions to fetch millions. But that's not it in snail farming. It's very different in snail farming. Give me a minute. Let me get water before I choke. Okay. All right. So let us continue. Now you're here. It might be that you have watched some videos on YouTube that got you confused more than clarity, right? Like I stated earlier, some persons watch dozens of uh, YouTube videos, and then at the end of the day, they come and tell me, Madam Mary, I watched some videos, oh, but this person is saying A, this person is saying B, that one is saying C, because you're watching different persons. All right. Now, the next set of persons that I believe are here are those who have heard about snail farming. Okay. They've heard that snail farming works and it's fetching people millions, but they don't know how to start. All right. Or you are just afraid of losing money by going into animal farming because you don't understand. I am with you and I understand. In fact, if you're on this table, if you are at the right place, okay? Or you want a real scalable business, not just another hobby that you will do and then let go at some point. Okay. Or you don't just want to quit your job. You need something that you can do by the side while still maintaining your job. You are in the right place. So if any of this relates to you, please write in the chat box. Are you here because you need a side also? You're here because you have heard about snail farming and you're interested in it. You're here because you have done snail farming before, but it didn't work out for you. Or you are here because you just want another business that will serve as a second source of income to either your job or your business that you're currently running. Which one is it? Where do you fall under? Okay, someone says it needs a side also. Beautiful. Please, it will be very nice. Now, the way we communicate in this session is I'm talking, you're typing. Need a side also. I'm talking, you're typing. So that's the way we communicate. So please don't hesitate to always respond in the chat box, right? That's how we communicate. Okay, someone says you're getting the major reason why I'm here. Majority for side also. Great. Great. This is Victoria from somebody's echo. She says she's Victoria from Anambra. Nice to have you here. I heard and I'm interested. Great. A lot of snail farming content has been out there for a while now, and a lot of persons have come in contact with people talking about snail farming, people advertising snail farms, people advertising snails actually, and it got your interest. You are in the right place. All right. Now, there is one very painful truth that I must tell you. A lot of these persons you're seeing all across social media talking about snail farming, there are a lot of things that they will not tell you. They won't tell you the backstory. They will not tell you the days of work. They won't tell you the other side of farming. Okay, they will only tell you the you can make millions out of it, and that is what you get when you listen to people at face value. Because truth be told, everyone needs time to explain a lot of things. All right, let's take for instance, this is a 30-minute session. It is not enough for me to explain what it entails when it comes to snail farming. Okay, so imagine you're just watching someone for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you cannot get the whole picture, but all you get was that snail farming is booming. There is there is millions to be made out of it, which is very true, but there are downsides to it. And one of such downside is that a snail farm of up to 10,000 snails can be wiped out in one day just by the infestation of ants. Soldier ants to be precise. All right. Someone says, I teach agricultural science. I need it both as a teacher and as a side business. That's beautiful. So let's take it. Let's move along. That is beautiful. You can even teach it. So that's a beautiful thing. Now, one other thing some persons or a lot of persons will not tell you out there, they will just say, give your snails leftover food, give your snails fruits, and you're good to go. Have you ever heard of watermelon killing snails? Watermelon has been killing snails for the past 3 years. And most times I get to wonder, if watermelon is killing snails like this, what is happening to we humans that are consuming it? I did a lot of research and I discovered that the reason why the watermelon is killing those snails is because of the chemicals that are used to plant this watermelon. All right. So for humans to be eating it, it can never be good for us as well. It definitely has detrimental effects to our health, but we are consuming it. Now somebody will say, feed your snails with waste from the kitchen and they are good. That is not entirely true. It's not entirely true. Salt can kill your snails. Any contact with salt can kill your snail. That is why we do not give poultry feed to our snails. But a lot of persons will not tell you. They will tell you all you need to do is feed your snails with watermelon, with fruit, with kitchen waste, and they are good to go. No, no, sir. It's not that simple. Which is why you need to sit down, learn before you now build, before you earn. Remember the three different steps we talked about, right? Now, some of the things that these people will not tell you is that if you start your farming with the wrong species, frustration will be your next name. Frustration will be your neighbor, God forbid. Now, there are too many teachers out there, too many. Most of them, if you tell them, you say you are a snail farmer, Alpha, where is your farm? They will not have where to show you because most of them are audio farmers. They are audio farmers. They heard somebody talking about it, so they decided they should jump into it as well. You see the reason why you need to learn from someone that is trusted, someone that has been into it for years, someone you know is a practicing farmer. All right. Yes, I have watched a lot of videos. I have watched plenty YouTube videos and I ended up totally confused. I get you. I get you. I understand because I've come across a lot of persons that have been through that own situation as well. Now, here is what will change everything. All of these misconception, all of these things that you didn't know about. After learning, and then you start your farming. You start your farm with what we call the point of lays. You can call them point of lays or you can call them breeders. Now we start with those ones because those ones are mature enough to start laying for you. They are sexually mature, even though they are not physiologically mature. They might not be big in size, but they are big enough to start laying for you. So now snail farming that is done right is the most efficient thing that you can do for yourself and for your business. If you do it the wrong way, you will run out same way you ran in. That's the simple truth. Okay, you buy your point of lays or breeders between 800 to 1000 naira as at when this video is being made, right? You buy it between 1000 to 800 naira, and then when you sell at 2008 to 4200. Now, the good thing is you're not just buying it and selling, right? Let's take, for instance, a business. Business is all about buying and selling, right? So let's take, for instance, a bag now. I bought a bag for 1000 naira or for 800 naira. And then I'm selling that bag for 2800. That's over 100% profit, right? More than 100% profit. As if that is not good enough. That is very beautiful, very good business, very scalable business, but it goes beyond that. It goes more than that in snail farming. As if that is not good enough, these snails will give you more snails. So you're not, let's take for instance, you're starting your snail farming with 200 snails or 500 snails. Let's talk about 500 snails. You're starting with 500 snails. You're not only selling 500 snails, you're selling 500 snails plus their offspring. Do you understand now? Now, one snail gives you between 7 to 14 eggs per clutch. That is per laying. All right. And they lay between 3 to 4 times in a year. But studies have showed that they lay even more than that. Because majority of the times you cannot tell exactly how many times a snail is laying within that breeding season. It's not specific. We're just having an estimate. Okay. I like to always work with the lowest number that is possible when I'm doing calculations. So we're going to calculate now. Let's say we're working with the 500 snails that we talked about, right? Please punch your calculators as well. You're working with 500 snails, and this snail give you between 7 to 14 eggs and 3 to 4 times in a year. So we're going to take the least one, which is the 3 times, all right? And we're going to take the least number, which is the 7 times, the 7 eggs. Okay, it can't go below 7, and it most definitely does not go beyond 14 majority of the times. Okay, so 500 snails, and each of them give you 21 eggs in a breeding season. That is 10,500. Imagine buying 800 naira for each of them, or at most 1,000 naira for each of them, and then they are now giving you 10,500 snails. Now, one other thing that people will not tell you is that no matter how good you are in snail farming, some of your snails will die. It's a natural thing. It's natural for snails. Okay? I've been into farming for up to 9 years now. I still lose snails. But the advantage is that I know what I'm doing. So the mortality is reduced to the barest minimum. So imagine you that don't know what you're doing. You don't know much about snails. You will lose more than 90%, or even all of them. I've come across a lot of persons who come to my training simply because they've gone into farming and they lost all their snails. So at some point they got discouraged and then let the business go. Then they started seeing me and hearing about me and hearing from me. They're like, okay, let me give it a try again. And then they start up. You might be in that situation, but this is your final bust up. Okay. So imagine having 10,500 snails. And we factor between 20 to 30% mortality in every snail farming. Anybody that is telling you otherwise is lying to you. If anybody tells you that when you know the right thing to do, none of your snails will die, the person is lying to you. Even someone that has been into the business for 50 years will still lose some snails. Like I said, it's a natural phenomenon for snails. I'd say it's just a natural way for nature to curb their excess. Imagine one snail. I tell you, there is a species of snail that gives you up to 1,200 eggs, right? So I think it's just nature's way of curbing their excess. So there's nothing you or anyone can do about it. The only thing you can do is that you know what to do so that that mortality is reduced. Because when you don't know what you're doing, you will lose 100% of your snails, no doubt. It can even be in one day. It can be in one day. But when you know what you're doing, maybe in a month or in a week, in a month, you lose maybe one or two snails. That's it. Okay. That's it. So talk about 10,500 snails and you're selling for the minimum number. Let's minus the 30% mortality. So please, if you're calculating, give us the number, okay? So 10,500 minus 30%. Please, what do we have? Let me know you're all following. What is the number you have on your calculator? 10,500 snails minus 30%. Now, 30% is like the maximum you can lose when you learn snail farming the right way. 7,350. Beautiful. Smart. Where are the others? Please don't forget, don't hesitate to always type. Like I stated, that is our communication channel. Okay, I talk, you type. So please always type and do your calculations. Okay, someone has given us the answer. I have it here already, but I needed you all to follow along with me. Yes, 7,350. So calculate this number by the lowest amount that you can sell your jumbo snails, which is 2,800. Please calculate it and give us the number on the chat box. Calculate this 7,350 times 2,800. That's the lowest number. Okay? The lowest that you can sell your jumbo snails. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Yes, we've gotten the 7,350 aspect out of it. Now we're talking about 7,350 times 2,800 for one snail. What did you get? What's your answer? Please, that we can move along very fast. Okay. 20.5. 20.5. You see how you have become a millionaire overnight? Yes, it's not immediately. Okay. It's not immediately. If anybody tells you it's immediately, the person is not being sincere. Okay. Even though there is a way you can start making money from snail business, even from this month. Okay. Yes, there is a way, and I'm going to expose that to you before this whole thing is over. Okay. First of all, snails can live up to 10 years. Okay. And for you to rear a snail, a what's it called, a grower snail to a jumbo size is around 18 months. That's like 1 year 6 months. Okay, for you to make this money. Tell yourself the truth. For the past 1 year 6 months, let's take for it, this is a new year already. All right. So the past 1 year 6 months to this time, have you made this kind of money in the particular business you're doing right now? And if yes, what would it cost you for you to do another one that will fetch you the same money again by the side? Money need ever do us for this country because everything is always on the rise. You will never go to the market this month and then go to the market next month and meet the price of things the same way you met them last month. You see the reason why you cannot just rely on one source of income, because bills are piling up by the day. Rents and fees are increasing by the day. Schools will resume and you start hearing different prices of school fees, different prices of housing. You are in a house, before you know, agent or landlord will bring a bill for you that your rent has increased by 50%. Some will say by 100%. You need to live in a house, you need to wear clothes, you need to feed, you need the good things of life. And for us to get those things, we need to have steady source of income. So if your income is okay for you and it serves everything you need and you don't need more, that means this training is not for you. But you know that your income needs a backup. Yes, I call it backup. Now you will quickly learn that you can even make this one your main source of income, but that does not mean that you cannot make it a side also. Everyone, majority of persons start out as a side also. For me, I got to realize that this thing can fetch me what I need. So what's the point of juggling two different jobs? So I decided to stick to it. I decided to stick to it. But I still do other forms of farming, okay, like plantain, plantation, and all of that. But what am I trying to say? This business is a perfect side also, no matter what you're looking at. How do you take care of snail? Somebody might ask, yes, this number, this amount is looking good, oh, but how much do I need to set it up? Let me shock you. You see this 20 million naira you can make in the next 18 months. You can start this business with about a million naira. Yes. But the good thing is you can even start with far less than that amount, although you will not be making this 20 million we're calculating right now. All right. But you will still make something meaningful. Just look at this calculation. We calculated with 500 snails, right? So imagine your money is not up to a million, it's not up to 500. Calculate with 100 pieces of snail and see what comes out of it and see what you're making. But like I stated, I have an hack that I teach my students on how to start making money from snail business, even from your first month of going into the business. All right. So how do you do it? You feed your snails once in a day, evening to be precise, because snails are nocturnal animals that eat only in the dark. So you feed them in the evening because you don't want to go to your farm at night when they are actually ready to eat. You feed them in the evening so that the food will still be fresh before they come out at night to eat. Next, you keep your current job. Yes, you can keep your current job while you're doing this business and earning from it. Why? You attend to it just about 30 to 1 hour in a day. And it's in the evening, like I said. So even if you're working, you can close from work, come back, and take care of your snails. We take care of our snails between 5 to 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening. You're back from work, so you can take care of your snails. And if you're the type that is starting big, you get a farm attendant that will be taking care of your farm. All right. You can start from your veranda. Yes, you can. Somebody say, I'm living in a rented apartment. I don't have a land. You can start from your veranda. You can start from your kitchen. Me, I started in my kitchen with basins. Now, the truth of the matter is there are a lot of things I've learned along these years of farming that I teach people so that you don't go through what I went through, because 95% of people will not be able to stand. All right. You won't be able to enjoy it, especially when you don't know where you're headed. Okay. So you can start in your veranda, your kitchen, a spare room in your house. I was pregnant about two years ago, and I couldn't go to the farm all the time. So I had to convert one of our rooms to a house farm so that I will still be going to attend to snails, because it gets to a point where you just love attending to the snails. You can't do without it. So even a spare room in your house, you can turn to your farm. Your backyard, your front yard, your veranda, your kitchen, your toilet. If you have a spacious toilet, you set a pen in one corner of your toilet, you are good to go. I've trained people who started their farming with a bathtub. Yes, there is a spare toilet, a spare bathroom that nobody is using, and there's a bathtub there. They changed it to a snail farm. Next, you can export your snails out of this country and you don't need NAFDAC certification for you to do that. Those of you who know a little about poultry farming, you will know that 50 kg of poultry feed can feed about 200 birds for approximately 2 to 3 weeks. But in snail farming, 50 kg of calcium can feed your snails for up to a year. Your 200 snails, it can feed them up to a year. Now, snail lays eggs up to 10 good years, meaning when you start with your first set of snails, you don't have to keep buying every year. That first set will produce all that you need. You see, this 10,500 that we calculated, before you are even selling, some of them have grown to start laying for you. In fact, some of them have even started laying again. Remember, you started with 500, right? Those 500 will lay that 10,500. That 10,500 will still be laying before you start selling. So it's a win-win. And like I stated, you don't need big capital. Not the capital that we are looking at when it comes to everyday business in Nigeria right now. Starting a business in Nigeria, let's talk about shop rents. Only shop rent alone, you will spend millions. So depending on the location you're going for, before you furnish your store or your office or whatever. So starting a business in Nigeria is not a joke, especially a business that will fetch you good money. It's not a joke. So snail farming is one easy way to go into business and make cool cash out of it. And like I stated, you're attending to your farms 30 minutes to 1 hour maximum in a day, sometimes even less, depending on the number of snails you're starting with. All right. Now, one good thing, one other sweet thing I would like to tell you is that snail are in high demand everywhere in the world, not just Nigeria. Snails are in high demand, massive demand. Like the demand for snail is always higher than the production, which is why if you go to the market today, snails are very expensive. You hardly even see those big jumbo snails. People like us who farm snails, market women don't allow our snails to grow to jumbo. I only leave some of them. I deliberately, with stubborn head, I will say, no, this set will stay till jumbo size because I have loyal customers who require them from me all the time. So I cannot be disappointing them. Other than that, to have jumbo snails in my farm is a problem because any size, if you go to the market, you will see that they are selling snails of every size, right? Even the very tiny ones. So any size you have, market women are ready to offtake it from you. So selling of your snails is not a problem at all. You can export out of this country. You can start with your family and friends. You can start selling to family and friends. Before you know it, this one will tell this person, this one will tell this person. Before you know it, you have a chain of customers that you're supplying to every single week. Now, I stopped selling to market women over 3 years ago because like I stated, like I said, I have serious buyers that have been with me over the years that I don't want to disappoint, and they have um sizes of snails that they require. And for me to rear to that stage, if I keep selling, it won't get to that point. I still sell snails every week. I sell snails every week. Today I've sent snails to Lagos. Today is what now? Next tomorrow, another set of snails are going out again. That one is to Osun State. I sell snails every week, every week, and I don't want to do it every day, so I don't have to go to the park every day. So when people order for 2 3 days, I gather that order and then I send out another 2 3 days. I gather the order and send out again. That is how I sell every week. Minimum in a month, minimum I sell about 4,000 snails every month. That's minimum, especially because of my online presence. I get a lot of orders. You can sell to restaurants, you can sell to eateries, you can sell to hotels, you can sell to food factories, you can sell to oil companies. I have a supply for in an oil company as well that I sell snails to. Now, when we talk about export, you can export to the US, to Italy, to France, to Spain. Some of you have talked about, I've seen the snail meat, but not all of you know about snail slime. You see that slurry substance that comes out of snail? That one is even more expensive than the snail meat itself. The only difference is that that one, only pharmaceutical companies buy it from you because they use it to produce creams and other things. A liter of snail slime is, the last time we sold was 120,000 naira for 1 liter. And when you're getting orders for snail slime, it's not just a liter. Somebody will not come and buy 1 liter from you. They buy in barrels. They buy in they buy in containers. So most times when we have order, we do it in a group. Like we can have up to 500 farmers that are trying to meet up one person's order because the order is always massive. It's not always. It comes once in a while, but when it comes, you know the millions you're making out of it. So you're in for a great ride. If you're still here and you are already getting motivated, please type it out. Type it. It's either you're typing fire because you're following fully, or you're writing I'm still here oh, because you're watching and learning, or you're writing motivated because you're ready to start this business. Please drop it. Somebody said, do I ship snails to Ibadan? Oh, of course. I even have an outlet in Ibadan. I have an outlet in Ibadan. I have an outlet in Lagos. I have in Port Harcourt here, and I have in Bayelsa. So no matter where you are in Nigeria, in fact, I have people coming from Cameroon, from Ghana, from Benin Republic, from Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, I've had about 3 clients come from Cote d'Ivoire as well to buy and then go with. Some they are there and then I ship down. Motivated, beautiful. Someone says he's excited. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Someone said, I'm still here. Oh, okay, me too. I'm here. Don't worry, you will soon get motivated since you're not there yet. Okay, this one says encouraging. Okay, fire, you're fully following. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I love this class. I love me a class that is keen, that's learning everything that is dropping as is hot. Okay, because your engagement with this post, your types, your messages, it keeps me going. It lets me know that okay, yes, I'm giving out value and people are there receiving value, right? It's not just enough to give value. It's better when you know that the value you're giving out, people are there receiving it. So let us move on. Now, I've talked a lot, and most of you have even introduced yourselves to me, but not all of you know me. So let's talk. Who is this person that is talking to you? My name is Mary Magdalene Igbanibo Kurazia. My name is very long. I'm originally from Bayelsa State, but I reside here in River State. All right. I'm the CEO of Mectes Snail Farm. Like I said, I live here in River State. My office address is at Akwaka Road, all right, by Rumo Dumaya, here in River State, Obiakpo local government, precisely. Okay. I'll be asking yourself, so why should we listen to you since there now, this is my portfolio. All right. I've trained well over 3,000 students. You know that WhatsApp groups right now, it's only 1,000, I think 1,025 person can be contained in one WhatsApp group. I have about 4 WhatsApp group. The fourth one is not filled yet. The fourth one is around, I think, 500 or 600 and something persons that I have trained. The other 3 are filled up already, that I have trained to go into that. You still see that the snail still far higher than this number. Now, this is just a number of persons that I've trained. Imagine others that are going into farming that I don't even know about. All right. Like I said, I have outlets in Bayelsa State. I started from the scratch, right? When I actually owned a restaurant of my own, when I started snail farming. So I was running my restaurant while I was doing my snail farming business. Now, later on, my husband and I had to move from where we are to another location, another city, actually, and we couldn't move the restaurant. So I had to leave that one. And then I took up a job as an HR manager in a company while I was still running my snail farming business. Because that one, like I said, I come from work and I take care of my snails. I closed from the restaurant. In fact, when I was running the restaurant, a bit more tedious because running a restaurant is not a joke. Those before know what I'm talking about. It's not a joke. Even though you have help, you have people helping you. If you're having good customers, it's no joke. Yes, I was making money from business. Even when I started the HR work, I was still making money from it. But Nigeria, we always want more. Not just Nigeria, we always want more. All right, because there's this life you want to live, and what you're getting is not giving you that life. Okay, and over here we don't steal, we don't defraud people, so we do things legit. All right, we do legit business, legit also that gives you legit money. Now, I've done years of experiments with my own snails, thousands of snails you will not imagine. Before I come to tell you now watermelon is killing snails, now this one is killing snail, now this one, you know that a lot of snails have gone down for those experiments. Now I did all of that so that you don't have to make those mistakes. You that is coming under my tutelage, so that you don't make those mistakes. You can ship your snails outside this country, because that is what I do as well. I ship outside this country. I've already told you the different countries that I ship to, within Africa and outside of Africa as well. All right. I have converted different dozens of fish ponds into snail farm, poultry farms into snail farm, because a lot of persons are jumping out of these businesses into snail farming, because according to them, some of them say it's too expensive to run a poultry farm, it's too expensive to run in a fish farm. So majority of them are coming to snail farming. So we convert their uh, fish ponds or their poultry area to snail farms, and they are doing very well. I paid those both those prices. I paid the price for those costly experiments so that you don't have to. All right. Now, I have real students who have had real experiences. I'm going to play videos, I'm going to play voice notes, and I'm going to read out things that some of my students have to say about how I teach and what they have gotten out of the teaching and how their businesses are going. Right. Now, this one says, Coach, you went the extra mile for us. In years to come, I will never forget the content of this training. I advise everyone to get this. You are exceptional, simply exceptional. This one is from Madam Karen. All right, this is one of my mentee. All right, next person says this is from Madam Lovely. You're gonna hear from her, Mrs. Lovely Otrofanowe. She's from Delta State. She says I called Coach right after seeing the free video from my very first batch. I hatched 82 baby snails. She started with 100 snails, I think. Yeah, 82 baby snails from our very first batch. She makes this so simple for novices like us. I'm so encouraged. Right? I had absolutely no idea snails could be farmed. Same here. I never knew. When I first started, I didn't know that snails could be farmed. But now you know. They're livestock and you can farm them, okay, and make good money out of it. And she says, today, I proudly call myself a snail farmer. Your teaching method is unlike anything I've ever experienced. This one is from Madam Angela. She's from Asaba. Okay, this one says, highly resourceful, simple, and easy to understand. What every single kobo. I only wish I had found Coach Mary earlier in my farming journey. This is one of my students that actually did snail farming, I think, 10 years ago. Sorry, she did it 10 years ago and lost all of her snails. Hold on, hold on. She lost all of her snails about 10 years ago before she now came in contact with me and then decided to start again. So I've read some of them. I have thousands of testimony like that, and we can't go into all of that. So let's listen to a few of my students and what they have to say. All right. I hope you can hear very well. So here we are in my snail farm. Listen to her again. Sorry. Um. Good morning, next gen snail farmers family. This is your fellow mentee and member, Ejiro Lovely Otrofanowe, all the way from Waki City. That's worry, the place where you never carry last. So here we are in my snail farm, right here on the side of my house. I stumbled on Megtest free training video sometime on the 27th of July 2024 on YouTube. I've been looking for where I could get the training, so this was an awesome video that I saw, and I immediately called our wonderful coach. She told me what was involved, and there was a training already scheduled for August 2024. So I immediately keyed in, and I'm happy to announce to you that I'm a lucky mentee of Megtest Snail Farmers. Having done that, I made some purchase of snails from her. These ones in this bowl, they have been washed this morning and kept in water for 7 minutes as she advised us to do. These are POLs. I actually got a number of eggs from that first batch I bought, and I incubated them and hatched them, and I was able to get 82 hatchlings. So here is reserved to keep them to grow. I only brought them out this morning because of the instruction for us to prepare the pen, and after scooping out, put some mixed ashes from wood and calcium, which I've done.
I have ordered for more snails from Nectars and looking forward to receiving my stock this morning, in addition to um, egg booster and concentrated food. So far, so good. I am so encouraged. Training by our mentor is a natural teacher. She made it very simple for novices like us in this business. And thank God for the audios and the videos. I'm able to go back to them from time to time. And in addition, where I have questions or things that I'm not sure of, she's always available and she's always responded. Even not immediately, but she always responds to my messages. Thank you so much, Coach Mary. Thank you, Vectors family. I hope we all succeed with this our new line of business. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
Okay, so that's Madam Lovely Utrofanoway from Delta State. Worry, she say that's where they need the carry last.
My name is Rabi Grace. I'm a retired officer. I stay in Ijebu, Ilakuru, in Ijebu, North Local Government of the state. I met Mary Snail Farming online. After studying it, I realized that I can be in the group because the group of people that can do the snail rearing are the working class, the retired, even the students, and the jobless. So I paid for the training. During the training, I realized that I can cope and do the business. After the training, I decided to have my pen and my pen. This is my pen. Here I am. Pen that I use for the snail. It has about 16 seconds. After consulting the pen, I purchased the snail. I purchased 150 snails and I started the dating. Those are the snails. They are supposed to be under the mulching material. The material. These are the pens, the snails. And I was so lucky that our coach said that he wanted to train those that have bought the snails for 14 or 18 months. So we are on 18 months challenge. We started in July, and this by now we have realized a lot. The snail has started laying eggs. They have started laying eggs, and which the eggs are the bonus for the farmer apart from the snails. Today, when I obeyed the instruction of my coach, I saw 182 eggs when I scoped the stand of the snail. And before this one, before the today's egg, the egg that they have been laying, have been incubating them. This is my incubator. This is my incubator. I have a lot there, a lot of ash. Like this one, there is 60 eggs that hatch on that they laid on 79, and now they will hatch on 8, 10, 24. And so on. This one is 35, this one is 10, and so forth and so on. This one is almost 38. So the total of the eggs is around 150 something. And the eggs that have hatched, the hatchlings are here. The hatchlings are here. Those are the hatchlings. The hatchlings. I see the hatchlings there. They stay under the mulching.
Okay, so you have heard from a few of my mentees, just a few, in a situation where there are thousands of persons who want to talk about uh, how their experience is like. I can only take but a few. But don't worry, since you are now here, You join the family and you meet the others. Okay. Now, if you are ready for me to reveal this thing to you, like, let me hold you and teach you same way I taught these other people. I remember somebody saying something like, eh, but this is snail farming now. Are you sure I can learn online and get it right? See all these people that are just talking now that you just listen to, they all learned online. One of them is in Delta, one is in Ogun State. I have people all around Nigeria. I cannot necessarily, or I cannot possibly go to all their locations and teach them, or they will now be spending thousands of naira, hundreds of thousands to come to Port Harcourt to learn. The world has gone global, so wherever you are, you can learn and get it right. You heard from them, they all learned online, all of them. Although I have students who also learn physically, especially those who are in Port Harcourt or around, they come for physical training. But majority of my students are learning online because, like, everyone is busy doing one business or one job or the other. So leaving your place of job or business to come to another city for a training is not always convenient, right? Now, I have a master class, all right, where I reveal every details, which is what you're going to get into. Okay, everything I've taught you today, they are just the foundation. They are just the foundation. So what I'm about to show you now is the complete system, and it's for 8 days. I'm going to train you for 8 whole days, and I will take you one step after the other. We're not going to jump anything. So even if you're a beginner, you have zero experience, you have zero knowledge of snail farming, I'm going to take you from that zero knowledge of snail farming to sales. And don't forget, I tell you, there is a way that you can start making money from snail business even from this month. Okay, so if you're ready, oh, I love this class. I say I love this class. I've not even gotten there. They've started writing ready. Oh. They've started writing ready. So let's go there. So you are ready. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So introducing the MedTest Snail Farm Training Program for 8 whole days, the 8-day intensive snail farming masterclass, where I take you from zero knowledge to full implementation to sales. All right. And like I've trained well over 3,000 students who are getting results as we speak. So yours is not going to be different. Now, it's not only 8 days of training, I also do live session. Now, this live session is going to be where you will come and ask questions. If at the end of the training you still have any reason to ask any question, we're going to come live, not on YouTube. We're going to go on a platform where you can talk and I will listen and I will respond. So our training is from theory to practical videos to implementation to questions and answers. All right. So we're ready. Yes, I'm seeing all the plenty ready. Someone is say ready. Oh, I get you. I get the O aspect. I'm a Bayelsa woman, right? I get it. Okay. So from day one to day three, it's pretty simple. We're going to be talking about how you can start your snail farming on a budget. All right, how you can build your snail houses. And this building of snail houses, you're going to be seeing videos on how you can build them. Now, first of all, learning exactly how to start a snail business on a budget is the first thing we're going to be talking about. Okay, like I said, we're not going to skip anything. We'll prioritize everything and go step by step before we now talk about building of the housing system. The way I teach, the way I teach my programs for this, let's talk about this building now. For building of snail housing system, if you can hold hammer and nail, you can do it yourself. That's the way I teach them. Take for instance this mommy, Madam Rabiu from Ogun State. She was the one that learnt it. She was the one that told the carpenter what to do. You are seeing the age of the woman, so imagine you that is not even as old as she is. If you can hold hammer and nail, you can do it by yourself. If I can teach that aged woman on how to build a snail housing system and she was able to communicate it to mason and carpenter to do the same, you don't have any problem. All right, now after building the housing system, we'll now talk about how to sterilize your soil and your mulching materials. You heard I talk about mulching materials, right? Mulching materials is those dry plantain leaves that you use to cover the snails because they are nocturnal animals that always like dark places. Okay, and the dry plantain leaves also give them more shield and moisture. It keeps the place cool. Okay, then we talk about proper feeding. Now I have a complete 1 month guide on how you should be feeding your snails, what you should feed your snails. If today is first, what are you supposed to feed your snails on the first? If tomorrow today is second, what are you supposed to feed your snails on the second? You're going to get the details of everything. Okay, today is first, you're feeding them so so thing. Tomorrow is second, you're feeding them so so thing. From first to 31st, we have that kind of timetable. So you're not guessing what am I feeding my snails today. You don't have to guess. All right. Now we talk about hatching. This is the most important aspect of snail farming, because in as much as if you buy your snails and resell, you still make profit. The offspring that they will bring are the ones that will multiply your profit, right? And if you don't know how to take care of those offspring, your farm will not grow. And I've seen a lot of persons, they know how to take care of the adult snails, but they don't know how to take care of the hatchlings. Majority of people who come to my training, some of them, that is their problem. I've been doing snail farming for years. My adult snails are doing okay, but all of my hatchlings are dying. Let me tell you a little secret. I have never lost an hatchling. I don't lose hatchlings, because to me, taking care of hatchlings is one of the easiest thing to do in snail farming. But apparently, because some persons don't have the knowledge on how to go about it, it is the most difficult thing for them. So you're going to be learning how to take care of your hatchlings. You will learn how to sell your snails. Okay, who to sell to, when to sell, how much to sell. Who are you selling to? Which market woman, which hotel, what exporters are you selling to? Now I have market women, hotels, exporters who reach out to me to get snails. All right. They reach out to me on a daily basis to buy snails from me. I have people who I sell to. So without waiting or delaying too much, you can grow your farm without necessarily um, waiting for 18 months before you start selling. I've said that over and over again. So you should be curious as to how and what that means. Now we talk about snail slime extraction, how you can extract your snail slime, how you can sell your snail slime, how you can get contracts for your snail slime if that is what you want to go. The species of snail that will give you snail slime better than others. Okay, you're going to learn about different species. There are different species for different locations. Like take for Ogun State, the snail I'm farming here in River State is not always suitable in some parts of Ogun State. So that's where mentorship comes into play. I will have to follow you. I don't need to necessarily come there, but I will have to talk to you one on one so that you will know. I will know where you are in Nigeria, which area of your state. So I will tell you exactly what type of snail to farm. You see the reason why most people who go for YouTube videos are not succeeding in this business, because there is more to this business than people are sharing. Okay, so if you just take information at face value and get into it, Oyo is your case. Okay, now how to extract our snail slime. You don't need any fancy equipment. We have an already made slime stimulant that you will use, and then how you can purify your slime as well. Those of you who don't have an idea of what I'm talking about, people are spending hundreds of thousands to buy millions of naira to buy equipment just to extract slime. But me, I'll be teaching you how you can do it by yourself. Okay, then on the ninth day is our question and answer session, where, like I said, you're going to be talking, I will listen, and then I will respond. It's not just you typing, because we're not going to be using YouTube that day. All right, all of the videos, you will have access to them for life. You have access to them for life, and it's not on WhatsApp, it's on Telegram. That means no matter what happens, I've seen so many persons, I lost my phone, I lost my number, I lost my this. You don't have any problem. Whether you lost your phone or you lost your number, you will still have access to your training materials the moment you come back online. That's one good thing about Telegram, and that is where our training materials are stored. All right, so you have access to your training materials at any time from anywhere in the world, because it's digital, right? And you have access to these materials for life. Some persons give access for 3 months, some for 1 year, some for 6 months. My materials are accessible to you for life. Okay, you also get my ebook. Okay, that I sell that ebook for about 9,300, but I give it for free for anyone who is getting into this 8-day mentorship class. All right, now this is the ebook. Like I said, it is free. It's a step-by-step guidance of how you feed your snail, how you construct. In fact, basically everything I taught in the videos are in the ebook. although not everything. Okay, not everything. Majority of things are on video because you have to see them for yourself. All right. So this particular ebook is sold for 9,300, but you're getting it free if you're getting into my masterclass today. And I also have a personalized business plan for you. Some persons get through this training, they set money aside for the for the business, and then they don't know where to start from. How much should I use to buy Snail? How much should I use to build the housing? How much should I use to buy their feed? Majority of people don't know about it, so I will give you a business plan on how you can allocate your funds the proper way. And then I have a Q&A group. Now, this personalized business plan and how I can teach you how you allocate your business, and also help you sell your snails when need arises. That one is exclusive for people I call the Millionaire Farmers Forum. Okay, we call it the MFF members. A lot of person, in fact, all of these people that testified are in that MFF. I have 98% of my students in those MFF programs. Okay, we have different batches, different sets. 98% of my students, and that's because not everyone that learns starts immediately. But even when they start, they still come back to the MFF program because that is where you get all of the juices when you are finally started. Okay, because I get a lot of orders on a weekly basis, and most times I can't fulfill those orders. So who best to get those orders from? My mentees, of course, and that privilege is reserved only for those who are in the MFF family. All right. Now, direct referrals. Direct referrals. I also refer you to people that can buy your snails when the need arises. Let's take, for instance, you are in Lagos and you are in my MFF group. You have point of lace to sell, and someone reaches out to me to buy point of lace, and I don't have enough. You are the next person I will call. All those that are in Lagos, you're the next person I will call. All right. I'm just giving that as an example now. And this one is also for the MFF members. The Q&A is for the MFF members as well. Then when you are in the MFF group, you have opportunity to do group export. When people are exporting, most times when you, especially when it comes as a contract, maybe you're supplying a food factory, or someone reaches out to you and say, okay, we need a container load of snail. Not, I can't supply, I can't meet up that order all the time. Majority of the time, before I started training people, I usually meet colleagues of mine to meet up those orders. When they have those contracts too, they also call on me. So now that I have mentees that are under me, they are the ones I meet, I go for, or I go to meet up those orders. All right. And the videos to build your housing system, they are all in video, so it's easy for you to learn A to Z. Like, you won't miss anything. Now, this training, I actually get this training, I give it out for 80,000 naira on a normal price. But majority of the times I do discounts and all of that for 40,000. But for today, I'm giving it out for 30K. And what are you going to be learning for this 30K? You are having 8 days of training, and then 1 day Q&A session where you get to clarify any other doubts that you might have. You have a personalized business plan, like, this one is exclusive, right? And then you get a community of where you get referrals for your snails. That one is also exclusive. Okay. Now I'm giving this particular 30,000 naira discount for a few days. Okay, it's going to be for a few days. I wrote Wednesday here, but it's not Wednesday. Wednesday is still long. It's going to be for 72 hours. So start your countdown now. For the next 72 hours, this program is going to be for 30,000 naira. For you to get into it, all you need is 30,000 naira. And after those 72 two hours, it goes back to 40,000 for another 24 hours. And after that 24 hours, it goes back to the normal price, which is 80,000. I know what I'm teaching you. And if you go through my training, you will not need any other training again in this life when it comes to snail farming. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. And you hold me responsible for my words. If you go to my social media platforms, you will know that I'm not somebody who will just say one thing today and do another thing tomorrow. I've been on this for years, so I'm not new to it. All right. So those who are making payments, you're paying to a first bank account. You remember that my long name, Igbanibo Mary Magdalene Korazia. That long name. Yes, that's where you're paying your money to. and it's 30,000 naira. The account number is on the screen. It's 3044 3051. I'm going to write and then paste it in the chat box as well, so that those who are paid can make payments immediately and send their proof. Please don't forget to send your proof of payment. Okay, don't forget to send your proof of payment to either the group or to our official number that is showing on the screen. I'm going to write out the number as well. It's 08025539238. 08025539238. The account number again is 3044 3051. The name is Igbanebo Mary Magdalene Korazia. People always laugh when when they hear my name. They say it's too long. I understand. It's my name. I love it like that. We are Ijo people. Our names are usually long. Okay, so I've written it and I'm gonna pin it to the comment section of the YouTube program we're having right now, so that you have access to it immediately. It's a First Bank account. Let's pin this message. All right, then let's go back. Let's go back to our slide. So how many hours each day? It's about 1 hour per day. And the good thing is you can attend at your own pace. You're working, when you get back from work, you attend it. Okay? So it's flexible enough to accommodate any kind of job you're into, any kind of business you're into. Just same way I'm succeeding, you are going to succeed in this business as well, because I'm going to be holding you by the hand. All right? I'm going to be holding you by the hand. Okay, someone said I should call the phone number again. The phone number again is 08025539238. 08025539238. So you're going to send your proof of payment to either this number that I just called, or you're sending it to the group. I'm going to open the group now. Let me open the group. Now, there are a lot of mistakes that you can make if you choose to do this business on your own. If you choose to do this business on your own, go and watch random videos on YouTube and you decide to do it on the the cost that you're going to pay is going to be times 20 of what you would have paid to learn. And you will say that is penny wise, pound foolish, right? It's better. Okay, the group is already open. It's open now. It's open. So as you make your payment, please post your proof of payment in the group. Can you pin it on the comment section? Which one? The phone number? Do you mean the phone number? Because the account number is already pinned. The account number is pinned, so I can't pin something else again. The phone number once again is 08025539238. So this training costs far less than what you would pay if you were to do it on your own, because every mistake in snail farming costs you money. Are we going to talk about you buying snails before your pen is ready? That is a mistake that you're going to make that will cost you money. Or is it getting snails from an unvetted source? You don't know where the snail is coming from. That is a mistake that will cost you millions of naira if that is what you invested, because you can lose all of your snails. All. Or are we going to talk about overwatering your snail or underwatering your snails? How do you know the right way to water your snails? Or are we going to talk about overcrowding? How do you know how many snails to put in how many square meters? Or is it about feeding? Some people just feed their snails. You've heard people talk about it on social media now. Just feed your snails kitchen waste and fruits, and you are good. But I just explained to you, fruit is also killing snails. Would you have known if you didn't listen to me? Kitchen waste is killing snails because sodium chloride is involved in most of our kitchen waste. You see, you see. Or are we going to talk about taking care of your baby snails? If you don't know how to take care of baby snails, how would your farm grow? So every mistake in snail farming costs you money. So I'm telling you, avoid those mistakes and avoid those costly mistakes by getting proper training for just 30,000 naira. So this training is going to take you from setup to growth to your snail start laying to your first sale and to scaling up. But I will always tell you there is an aspect of snail farming that I'm going to teach you that you will implement and start making money from month one, from this same month. You start making money from it. You don't have to wait for months. You don't have to wait for weeks before you start making money from snail farming. You can scale up almost immediately. Okay? You can scale up almost immediately. And we're going to talk about that one on the live session. We're going to talk about that on the live session. Okay? So, somebody said I should bring back the payment details. Yes, I will. I will. So, while you're making your payments, let's be answering some questions. While you're making your payment, let's be answering some questions. First of all, let me go back to the payment page. Yes, this is the payment page. Someone requested for the payment page, but I'm going to drop it in the group as well, so that while you're making your payment, we're answering other questions. Please get your questions ready. We're almost rounding off so that you can ask your questions, right? Before 8 o'clock, we should be done. Okay. All right, everything has been posted in the WhatsApp group. Everything has been posted in the WhatsApp group. All right, so drop your questions. So let's answer those questions while you're making your payments. Like I said, the payment details are already in the group already, and it's pinned here. It's pinned on this YouTube. So let's answer your questions. Number one question that I get mostly when I talk on social media is, do I need a large space to start snail farming? The answer is no. You don't need a large space. Like I stated, you can start from your veranda, a spare room in your house, your balcony, your backyard, your kitchen, your toilet. You can start with any of the above. And if you have a land, perfect. What if I live in a rented apartment? Fine. That is why you can start with those things. I've had people say, I don't know if my landlord would agree. Landlords will not have issues with your snails because snails do not smell. They don't make any noise. So you will not disturb anybody. You won't disturb your neighbors. It's not like poultry farming that is smelling everywhere. You can't do it inside a living apartment. This one, it does not smell and it doesn't make any noise. So we call it the noiseless gold mine. Yeah. I have a full-time job. Can I really do this? Yes, you can. I started when I had a full-time restaurant I was running on my own. My own restaurant. I wasn't working for someone. My own restaurant. I was the one cooking. And to cook in a restaurant is not a joke. So I was cooking and I was the one going to the market. Yes, I had people who were serving and washing plates and all, but I was the one going to the market. I was the one cooking because I needed to run my business myself. And I was still doing my snail farming by the side. I was still doing it by the side. So yes, you can too. What if my snails get sick or start dying? That is what my MFF program is for. for continued mentorship. You don't just learn and go, you learn and stay until you succeed in the business. Okay, is there an actual market for this? Yes, plenty actually. I say if you have just one market woman that is buying from you, you will not need another customer again. You know why most people don't sell to market women? Because they price at a lower rate. Like see Snail that you're selling for 2,800, they might be telling you to give them for 2,000 naira, because they too they will resell, or 2,200 or 2,300. And most persons want to sell at the premium price, so you go for hotels, restaurants, eateries, food factories, what's it called now, um oil companies. So because you want to sell at a premium price, that's why you go for all of that. If not, market women are your best bet, and you will not have enough snails for them. That's the bottom line. You won't. You know they have people coming in to the market in their tens of thousands to buy snails. So getting just one market woman alone is enough. So yes, there is market. Plenty of market actually. Okay. I'm not tech savvy. Can I access the training? Yes. If you can operate WhatsApp, you can operate Telegram as well. So there's nothing. You saw the old woman that was testifying, right? You saw her. I've trained even 65-year-old people. So you don't have any problem. You can have access to it, and going through the training is not difficult at all. It's not. Okay, so back to the payment page. So I'm going to keep it here while I respond to your questions. So, questions. Okay, so let's start with the questions while the payments are coming in. Let's start with the questions. Please, those who have made payment, please post your proof of payment. I know not everyone is okay with posting their proof of payment in a group. So if you're one of them, send it to my personal number, that this number I shared. Send it to the business number, okay? So that your payment can be approved. Okay, someone said, please type, okay, how much is considered as a small startup capital for Snail Farm? You can start with even 50,000. Although that one is not when you want to do it for commercial purpose. If you want to go for commercial purpose, I will tell you start between 150 to 200 and you're good to go. Now, starting with 50,000 was a possibility just few years back. But with the rise of everything, now, everything has changed. Things we used to buy uh 800, 900, you now buy it for 4,000, 7,000. So that is why. What's next? What's the next question? To me, I can't wait to learn this from you, madam. I can't wait to teach you as well. I cannot wait to teach you. Okay, for a startup, how many chambers do I need to construct in the snail pen? It's not exactly chambers per se. Okay, first of all, I work with you because I would like to know the space you have, so that I will advise on which one to go for depending on the capital you have available. Okay, so you can construct two arch boxes and start with. If you have the money, you can go for five. You can go for 10, depending on your capital. Okay. Next question. When exactly are we starting the training, ma? We're starting today is what? We're starting the training in the next 3 days, which is the 72 hours we're giving. Okay. And then plus 1 hour. So in the next 4 days. We're starting this training in the next 4 days. And it's 1 hour per day. And it's in the evening when you must have closed from work. Okay, 8 p.m. But if you're not available by that 8 p.m., you still have access to the material, so you attend to the training when you are free. Okay, so this is it. We're gonna be waiting for you in the group to respond to your payment proofs and add you to the group immediately. Then you have access to those training materials as we begin. Okay, so if after this training program you still have any, I mean, after this live session, if you still have any question, the WhatsApp group is open so that you can share your questions or observations or remarks. Yeah, ask your questions so that I will answer in that WhatsApp group. So we're supposed to close by 8 p.m. and this is 8 p.m. So let's call it a night. Please, how was it? Type in the comment section, how was this session? How was the session? I know I had a good time. So how was it for you guys? Yeah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So yeah, someone said it was cool, it was awesome. Yes, I had a good time. I had a swell time as well. So I'll see you inside the training. Please, please, please don't allow this training skip you. Don't allow these kind of opportunities are not always. I don't do this all the time. So now that you have the opportunity to dive in, please do before the 72-hour mark elapse. Okay, so that you don't pay at a higher price while your peers are paying something lower. Okay, so till I see you inside the masterclass, bye for now, and I love you all. Take care. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Okay.